Hello there. This week's craft is a folded butterfly. The ones you see here are made out of recycled pages from old magazines. But if you're going to use magazines, make sure that your family gives permission to use those magazines and tear pages out. So let's get over and see what supplies we need to make this. First, you need 2 pages of paper, whether that's from a magazine or regular, either a twisty tie or a pipe cleaner. If you use the twisty tie, you might want an extra little strip of paper, some kind of glue, some scissors. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that if the edges were torn out of a magazine, you might need to straighten out that edge so it's not quite so jagged. After you do that, now I'm going to line up just one corner and cut both papers with a rounded edge. Now I'm going to line up the next 2. I use 2 different sized magazines and cut those corners off. So we're just curving the corners on all 4 corners of each paper. I just happen to be holding the 2 papers together while I do it. Now that I'm done with that, we're going to take one paper at a time, put it vertical, and start folding up a narrow edge. Then you flip the paper over and turn it back toward you, and you keep lining those up as you go. And just keep fan folding all the way across. You'll notice that even though you see a lot of the ads and the words right now, you won't really notice that once it's fan folded and it turns into the butterfly. Every time you crease, make sure you're pressing very hard. Sometimes I use a marker or a pencil to just rub across it and really make those creases tight. Now you're going to do the other page that you already have rounded edges on. And now we're ready for the next step. Now that they're both fan folded, we're going to find the middle. So line up those edges and crease that top, pinch hard. And now we do the same thing with the other one. Measure, make them even, and then crimp the top. Now you know where the middle is. Now I turn them over and decide which side I like best to make my butterfly. I like that. So I'm going to show you first with the pipe cleaner. If you have the pipe cleaner, fold it in half so you know where the middle is, and then you're going to put both pieces in between. And at the top, you're going to twist. I like to turn it around 3 times or more. And then you can shape those little antennae however you like. If you have some googly eyes, that would be great. I didn't, so I just took one of my scraps that I cut, and I cut a little oval, and then I drew a face on. And for this one, I used the Elmer's white glue to glue it on. But I'm going to also show you what to do with a twisty tie. If you have the twisty tie, you're not going to have quite as much room there for the antennas, and so I use a paper strip. So this is going to be a little tighter. Those twisty ties aren't quite as long. Hold it carefully. Again, make the ends meet, and then twist 3 times or more. And then I take the paper strip, fold it in half, and I like to cut some little antenna on the open end. After I cut those antennae, then I would go ahead and make my face before this next step. But after the face is on it, you can put some glue stick on, or you can use Elmer's glue. Any kind of glue will work. And that way I can put this little body on and have a little head and body on my butterfly. So there you go.